Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into a really fascinating academic paper. It's proposing a whole new way to think about building the AI of tomorrow, and maybe more importantly, it forces us to take a hard look at our own role in that future. So here's the plan. We're going to start with how we're all interacting with AI right now, then get into how our own brains are basically becoming the blueprint for the next wave of AI. After that, we'll talk about why humans are absolutely essential in this process, what a real partnership with AI could look like, and we'll wrap up with some of the big questions that we still need to figure out. All right, let's kick things off with the relationship we already have with AI. You know, it's this kind of dance that has gotten incredibly complex, and it's happened way faster than anyone imagined. The author of the paper, Arslan, really sets the stage with this powerful idea. He's basically saying, look, this isn't just about some new tech. This is the result of thousands of years of our own evolution. We've actually reached a point where we can start creating new forms of intelligence, which is a wild thought, right? We're essentially designing the next step in our own evolutionary story. And that story is moving at lightning speed. I mean, ever since these big foundation models showed up, the way we work, the way we create, even the way we think, it's all getting tangled up with AI at a pace that frankly nobody really saw coming. This constant back and forth is changing us, and it's changing the AI. And that's creating this brand new dynamic that we have got to understand. So how in the world do we get a handle on all this? Well, the paper argues that if we want to build a better AI, we should probably start by looking at the most incredible model of intelligence we know of, the one that's sitting right inside our own heads. And that brings us to the core concept, which the paper calls artificial human intelligence. Now, let's be super clear about this. This is not about trying to create a conscious, feeling human being inside a computer. Nope. The key idea here is to learn from the incredible efficiency and the smart structure of our brains to build AI systems that are just plain smarter and more capable. Okay, so how does this actually work? The paper points to three main principles. First up is modular neural specialization. Think of it like this. Your brain has expert teams. One team is for language and others for recognizing faces. AI can do the same thing, using specialized parts for different jobs, which makes it way more efficient. Then there's sparse episodic encoding. This is like a really smart filing system for your memories. Your brain doesn't save every single boring detail, right? It saves the important highlights. Well, AI can learn to do that too, which saves a ton of computing power. And finally, human-inspired scalability. It's all about copying how efficient humans are to get around some of the big computational problems that hold AI back. And you might be thinking, okay, that sounds cool in theory, but this is actually happening right now. Real-world models, like one called DeepSeek, are already using these ideas. By learning to filter information more like a human does, they're solving huge computational headaches and getting way better at processing data. But, making AI more powerful and more efficient brings up a much bigger and maybe more important question. As these systems get smarter, our role as the people who create and guide them becomes absolutely non-negotiable. And the paper is crystal clear about this. Humans have to stay in the loop. It is our job to be the ethical backstop. It's on us to make sure these systems are built responsibly and to put in the guardrails that make them strong and trustworthy. This isn't about hitting the brakes on progress. It's about making sure we're steering the car. Technology by itself can't figure out our values. That takes human wisdom and human oversight. And all of that leads to what I think is the most exciting and hopeful idea in this entire paper. It's a vision for the future that's built on partnership, not on replacement. For the longest time, the big fear around AI was all about being replaced, right? That machines were just going to come in and take over our jobs. Well, this paper argues for a massive shift in that thinking. The new goal isn't to replace us, it's to augment us, to build tools that make our own minds, our own creativity, even more powerful. The magic words here are symbiotic designs. Think about it like a master artist who gets a revolutionary new paintbrush. That brush doesn't replace the artist's skill or vision, no way. It just unlocks a whole new level of things they can create. That's the future this paper is pointing to. A future where human smarts and machine smarts work together, and each one makes the other better. Of course, it's easy to get excited about this symbiotic future, but let's be real, it's not a done deal. And as we start to wrap up, the paper is wise enough to admit that there are still some massive, unanswered questions ahead of us. And that's really the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? We are standing at this incredible moment in history, holding the blueprints for a totally new kind of intelligence. The decisions we make right now are going to have echoes for generations to come. And I love that the authors are humble here. They don't act like they have all the answers. Instead, this paper is more like an invitation for everyone, whether you're a scientist, an ethicist, a policymaker, or just a curious person, to join this conversation about what kind of future we actually want to build together. And that really leaves us with this one last, crucial thought to chew on. Every single choice we make about how AI develops is also a choice we are making about ourselves. As we teach these machines how to think, we can't help but re-examine what it means to be human. As we design their evolution, we are, without a doubt, redesigning our own.